Hey, 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 good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome in to the Tuesday Tea with me, Christy. This is part 2 of the part 4 series on how I got started and made it to the point of being a six-figure earner in my business. So if you missed part 1, which is before Googling for money, before Googling on ways to make an extra $1,000 a month, what was I doing? What skills did I already have or possess? And what are some things I had to learn? That's in part 1. Go back and catch that replay. Today, we're going to talk about ground floor. Is that really what you want? Do you know what you're asking for? So as you come in here, go ahead and get your share on. I have to share with my team. They can get access to this, and that is only going to take a little bit of time. So while I'm doing that, you can do it as well. Get comfortable. Turn down the volume if you are at work. Copy the YouTube link so you can share this or follow me on YouTube, and I will be posting that link below for you to follow, where I have posted other Tuesday Tea with me trainings. So let me get this shared where it needs to be shared to. And come on in, say hi. If it's your first time in here, drop a number 2 below. Drop a number 2 if it's your first time catching a Tuesday Tea with me, Christy, as I share with you on this series about how I made it a six-figure earner in my business. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. This will last less than 30 minutes. And if you're coming in, definitely drop a hashtag replay. Let me know if you came in and caught the replay. All right, so I got my share on. You can do the same, get your invite in. All right, today I'm going to talk about not starting from the bottom. I've already talked about starting from the bottom and some skills and characteristics that I already had. But then I'm going to talk about ground floor. And is that what you really want? Do you know what you're asking for? In a business, you can be an inventor, a starter of something brand new. When you're in direct sales or multi-level marketing, you can be in what they call a ground floor opportunity. And I've heard different numbers about what it means to get in at ground floor. Like if you get in at the first 500,000, $500,000, or if you get in at less than $1 million, like in Mary Kay, if you got it in less than $1 million, you were probably doing good, right? Or in a great position. In our business, we are still less than 500,000. Well, when I started this business, my consultant number is currently and will always be 6442. So when I started this business, there were only 5,442 people who had ever signed up and started to do this business. Okay. And when I currently live in Georgia, and this is where I was when I started this business, in Georgia, there are probably, I would say, I don't know this to be fact, but I will say maybe 10 people in the state of Georgia who were doing this business, because when I started, I Googled ways to make an extra $1,000 a month. And the business that I chose, Paparazzi Accessories, showed up on a stay-at-home mom's website. I had never done direct sales, never done multi-level marketing. So I didn't know that you needed to start the business under someone. So similar to any kind of franchise, when you create a McDonald's, and you decide, you know what, I want to own a fast food restaurant. You have plenty of them to choose from. So you can go and research McDonald's or Wendy's or Chick-fil-A or Burger King or Taco Bell or Chipotle, whichever one you want to do, right? You have to start up under the brand. So you would reach out to the franchise, pay in a starting price for the brand, for the franchise, and then you have to follow the rules of the franchise. So you can't go open up a McDonald's and decide that you want your M to be a C instead, and you don't want it to be red or yellow, you want it to be purple. That's not the rules that you have to follow when going into the McDonald's franchise. Well, one of the rules of most, if not all, direct sales or multi-level marketing companies, if you have to start your business under a existing business partner, right? So I called into the company and said, you have to start up under somebody. I was like, well, I don't know anybody. So they did a zip code search for my business. And at the time, the closest person to me was an hour and a half, almost 2 hours away from my current zip code. And the reason I believe nobody else existed in Georgia at that time is because the only reason she was in Georgia is because the company that I chose, Paparazzi Accessories, started in Utah. and she had just moved from Utah to Georgia. That's the only reason she came up in this zip code search. So that would lead me to believe, and I can call into the company and find out, but I've never done that. It's not really that important to the story. But that would lead me and probably you to believe also that there probably was nobody else in Georgia, because if she hadn't moved recently from Utah, where the company started in 2011, to Georgia, when I started in 2012, there was probably nobody around. That meant I had a wide open market. And I talked to consultants, I talked to prospective business partners, and the one thing that they will say is, if I knew then what I knew now, or I would do this, Christy, but the market is saturated right now. I wish I had started when you had started. And I look at people and I say, no, honey, you don't wish you had started when I had started. There are things about being in the ground floor or groundbreaking opportunity like where I was that gives you obstacles that most people who start this business now, or started 2 years ago, or started 3 years ago, or started a year ago, wouldn't have been interested in what the kind of work that they would have to put in that is different from what I had to put in as a groundbreaking person. When nobody in the state of Georgia, nobody in my circle, nobody in my extended circle, nobody in their extended circle knew about this business. So it is like, I like to compare it to Kia. Does anybody remember when Kia started? And I didn't look this up. I could probably look this up right now and find out, when did Kia start? What year did Kia start? Let's see, because they haven't been around for forever. Actually it says in 1944, but it started in Korea. So most people in America did not know. I wonder when they expanded over to America. So it was started in 1994. In 2009, November in 2009 is when Kia started production in the US. So 2009. So they've been around for a long time in Korea, but not in America. Now, when Kia first came over to America, how many of you were interested in buying a Kia? Most people were not. They considered it a very cheap vehicle, right? And so it took them time. So imagine the first people in America who worked at Kia sales departments and were trying to get people to come in and buy their Kias. They had a lot more work to put in, a lot more convincing to do to people that Kia was actually a great car, that it had been around since 1944 in Korea and was just new to the American market. Well, that's basically what it was like when I started this business. Nobody knew about $5 accessories at all. Nobody knew about paparazzi. There was no brand recognition. Like right now, you know, if you have a taste for something, you can roll up to McDonald's and get chicken nuggets that you know what they taste like. You can roll up to McDonald's and get a Big Mac that you have years of experience with. Where their new burger spot opens up, you don't know, right? So you might be a little skeptical. People might say, oh my gosh, you gotta go try this. And you might be like, I don't know about that. It might take something huge happening, like the controversy between Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, for you to even go try Popeye that you've never tried before. That is literally what it was like for me as a groundbreaking person. When we went to go buy accessories as a person who was in the business before we had even reached 10,000 consultants, right? I was in it before we had reached 6,000 consultants. We used to have to buy jewelry in sets of 5. And the only piece we knew about was one piece. So for example, and I was going to grab some jewelry. Let me do it right here. I have some earrings in this basket I showed you. It's a basket of earrings that I have not finished sorting. So let's see if I have 5 earrings in the same color in here. That's how it worked when I first started. Oh, there's 3 seed beads, 4 seed beads, 5 seed beads. Let's see. I could do seed beads probably 2, 3, 4. I think I dropped them. This is a perfect example. All right, so back when I started this business 7.5 years ago, we would buy jewelry for still $2.75, just like I purchased it for right now, right? But there would be a picture of one earring, all right? And the only thing I would know is that I would get 4 more pair of earrings, and they would be seed bead. And they would be possibly the same color. In this case, they would be multicolor. So I would buy this one, not knowing what the other 4 would look like until they reached my doorstep. So the other 4 would look like this. That's 3, 4, and 5. That's 5 I would get for $2.75 each. But these 4 would arrive to my door and I not know what they look like until they got to my door. Only one I would know what looked like is this one. Now my customers may love this pair of earrings. Oh my goodness, I get all of these, but they are in love. 20 people want this pair of earrings. I would have to buy 20 of these 5 earrings just to get 20 of these. And hope and pray that I find some customers who want to buy this one, even though they're cute. I may only have 3 people who want this one, 5 people who want this one, 4 people who want this, and 1 person wants this. But now I have 20 of them of this color just because I needed 20 of these to sell to my customers who really wanted them. Well, now, 7.5 years later, after I started the business, almost 8 years, if I want 20 of these, I can go in and buy 20 of this one piece, 5 of this one piece, 50 of this one piece if I want it, or 2 of this one piece if I want it. See, those are the difference. Those are the growing pains that come with starting, and it's any kind of business, whatever kind of business you decide to start. So you could have been a person around 2009 who wanted to own a car dealership. And you were looking into Ford, who'd been established in America for years. You were looking into Mercedes, who had been established in America for years. And then you were looking into Kia because they had a lower startup, but nobody knew about it. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of person am I willing to go through to be in the ground floor opportunity to withstand the changes that are going to happen over years? Now, usually the changes are great changes. They are changes, but some people don't like change. So as great as the changes the business are, so at year 2 or year 3 or year 4, all the changes that I have that I have been able to stick with through this business for 7.5 years were great changes in my opinion. Our business has changed and adapted. The jury changes every season to what is going on in America, in the world at the time. And so when spring comes out, we get the colors of the current Pantone season colors. So spring Pantones, the fall Pantones. So we're always changing. Those are great things. But there have been some people who started the ground floor who have not been happy with the changes and they decide to leave. This isn't for them. One thing that has also changed is the ability to sell right here on social media in a Facebook Live that reaches people all over America. So yesterday, if you caught on my personal page, me printing out shipping labels, I ship literally all over America to people who I've never met. So some people in California, all because of what social media, Facebook Live specifically, has allowed me to reach jewelry, accessory loving people all over America. Whereas when I started 7.5 years ago, all I was able to do was to own my backyard. So literally yard sales or vending events in Metro Atlanta to get the word out that this is an opportunity. Get in. Let's do this jewelry. And is this opportunity still available and still vast right now? Absolutely. Right now, when you decide what kind of business you want to do, whether it's to join this paparazzi accessories business where we make 45% profit off of our $5 accessories, such as the seed bead earrings or wooden earrings or acrylic earrings or timeless gem and rhinestone earrings, or whether it's our $25 pieces like this Z collection statement piece that we pair with $5 rings and $5 bracelets, and we make 45% profit off these pieces, or 35% profit off of these pieces. Getting in now would still be a very profitable opportunity for you, but that's just the question you need to ask yourself when you're starting any business. Are you willing to be like a Bill Gates who started something from the very beginning in his garage with people who didn't have any faith in him, and you're willing to carry that idea all the way through the process, which might take years because there are business practices don't change. That's the facts. There are business practices that go with starting a business, like having startup funds, that in a traditional business, you probably would need more startup funds when you're starting a McDonald's, because you can't open a McDonald's brand and only be able to afford French fries. You have to be able to afford the shake machine. You have to be able to afford the ketchup, the mustard, the condiments, the mayonnaise, the cups, the straws, the napkins. You can't own a McDonald's and say, hey, I'm going to get all this stuff, but I'm going to cut corners and get napkins that are not branded from Sam's Club and instead of buying the ones that had the McDonald's emblem on it. It doesn't work like that when you start a McDonald's franchise, when we start a Walgreens franchise, when we start a CVS franchise or a grocery store. Like, none of that is an option. But those are more expensive starts in the business. But no matter which one you start, there are tried and true business practices, right? Same is true no matter whether you get in the ground floor or an established business. There are practices in this direct sales multi-level marketing business that I just started to do when I was at the true beginning ground floor, where the owners were changing over the years. The starting package, like right before I had started, it was thousands of dollars to start this business. By the time I got in, the smallest you could start was $299, which came with 100 pieces. Now that $299 kit comes with 120 pieces, so 20 additional pieces than when I started. We have a $99 preview pack that did not exist when I started. Now we have a free website that allows you customers to go on and buy jewelry from our free website that we don't pay Paparazzi, the franchise we've chosen, or I've chosen and my business partner have chosen to be a part of. We don't have to pay anything for that website, and the Paparazzi brand, loads new jewelry on that website Monday through Friday for our customers to purchase jewelry from. Those are some things to consider. Ask yourself, in this business, is that something, if you were interested in starting a business, and let's say paparazzi is not your thing, but it's business in general, would you want to be in the business that in the beginning had no website? And so the only option you had was either to start your own and upload your personal jewelry that you purchased. So all these earrings, I'd have to upload them to my personal website that I paid for because the brand Paparazzi didn't offer it at the time. Or what I did, I used Facebook because Facebook was a free, it didn't cost anything then, doesn't cost anything now. And I posted my personal jewelry on there using the pictures that were provided by Paparazzi, which is a bonus. Those are things you have to ask yourself. Also ask yourself, really, would I have wanted to be a part of this business when nobody knew about it? No brand recognition. Brand recognition is a beautiful thing. Beautiful, meaning that my sales have increased because people now know about the Paparazzi brand. When I go to vending events, I have homegirl, a woman, will walk up to my thing and she will pull her girlfriend with her and say, girl, I have some of this jewelry at home. I buy it from my coworker. You need to come in and look at this. And now I don't have to do any selling of this, any back history about how it's lead free and nickel free, how it's everything in my booth. These thousands of pieces that are brought to this vending event is $5. All the necklaces come with earrings. I don't have to say anything to that because of the brand recognition. She has jewelry that she's bought from here, and she's pulling 2 or 3 of her friends in my booth and saying, oh, you haven't heard of this? You need to buy this too. And all I'll say is I accept card payment. So if you get excited, I can charge it. And then the whole vending booth starts laughing, and I laugh all the way to the bank. See, you have to ask yourself, what kind of person are you? Are you the kind of person who's willing to push above the obstacles when there is no brand recognition out there and tell people, hey, I have to convince you or show you that this is $5. It's lead free, nickel free. It's equivalent or better than what you buy in the dollar stores or department stores because it's lead free and nickel free. Come on in. Or I promise you, everything in this booth is $5. Or are you at the point where you'd rather go into a brand that already has brand recognition, and so people are going to come to you wanting to know what you have because they've already heard about the Paparazzi brand? Those are things that determine no matter what business you are in. Take where you are and make it happen. Right now, there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and maybe even millions Mary Kay and Avon consultants, correct? But there is someone who has come into Mary Kay in the last 12 months and has made thousands of dollars because instead of thinking about all the people who are already doing it, they were thinking about what they can do with a product that is already has brand recognition. Right now in Avon, there is someone who turned 30, whose mom didn't sell Avon, whose mom and aunties didn't do Mary Kay, and they found it and they saw it as a gold mine. And instead of thinking about all the reasons why it won't work because their neighbor across the street, 3 ladies at their job have catalogs too, and 4 ladies at their church have catalogs too, instead of thinking about why it won't work, they in 12 months have already built a business big enough to leave their full-time job. The same is true, very much so, with this paparazzi accessories opportunity, because we are yet still in the ground floor. Less than 500,000 people. We're still less than 400,000. I checked the numbers this morning when I signed in. Less than 400,000 people have ever started this business. Less than a fifth of those are actually still doing their business. And even less than that are truly building a brand to last a lifetime. So this opportunity is wide open, but you just need to ask yourself, whether it's paparazzi accessories or whether it's any business, is do you want to go on something that's a ground floor that you are willing to wait out? My tea this morning, let me get this quote. I thought, oh, how mind-blowing, because I usually drink green tea, but this morning I did ginger and lemon. And my tea this morning says, steadiness comes from character and commitment. It's going to be opposite, but I promise you this is what it says. Steadiness comes from character and commitment. That is what being successful in a business requires. So ask yourself, ground floor, is that what you really want? Are you willing to withstand all the things, like the person who initially started McDonald's, the initial owner of Kia who decided, you know what, we're successful in Korea, we're going to go over and try this in America with no brand recognition, and we're going to stand the test of time. We are going to have a steadiness that comes from commitment and character, and we're not going to give up on this because we've seen what it can do in Korea, and we've looked at the numbers, we've looked at the opportunity, because there's groundwork. If you decide right now to open a McDonald's, now the brand recognition is there for McDonald's without a shadow of a doubt, right? But you can't go open a McDonald's right next door to another McDonald's. Have you noticed that some neighborhoods don't have McDonald's? Or some neighborhoods have a McDonald's and that's it for the whole city? But other neighborhoods have 5 McDonald's. There's like one on every 10 blocks. There's still research that has to be done, even though you go into something that has lots of brand recognition. You can't just go willy-nilly and throw yourself into it. You have to consider, how much are you willing to put into your startup? And if you only have this much of a startup, what is your ability to be successful in that business? And how much work will you have to put in if you decide to start here as opposed to someone who comes in and starts here? Will they have less work to put in? And so you can't compare your journey to their journey because y'all came in at different points. Can it still be successful? Yes, but your success will not look the same. It is equivalent to somebody at Wendy's who comes in and can afford to be at the red for 5 months, but they've done their numbers and they know at month 10, they will be fine, as opposed to someone who comes in and doesn't have as much startup and cannot afford to be in the red 5 months. And then their doors close. And you say, oh, see, that's why I didn't start this business. You don't know where this person came in. You don't know their story and why they had to quit. It has nothing to do with the success of the business itself. It has to do with their lack of research when they started the business, or their lack of funds to be successful, or their lack of, what is the word I'm looking for? Their lack of consistency, determination, and putting their money back into their business. There's someone who will forfeit going to Essence Fest with their girlfriends because they need the money to put back, invest in their business because they know it'll be a success if they do so. And there's somebody who was like, I'm going to Essence Fest with my homegirls and I'm not going to reinvest in my business, and their business collapsed. And so now your mindset is, oh, this business don't work. No, it's not the business that doesn't work. It is the fact that they weren't willing to have steadiness that comes from character, and they even put it in bold letters, commitment. They were not committed to the process. They were committed to hanging out at Essence Fest, though. Priorities, people. Because I could have been like, I'm not buying these 5 sets. This piece is not going to sell today, where this piece, I can get 20 sold tomorrow. Am I going to bail on my business because 20 of these will sell tomorrow, but I might have to wait 2 weeks to put this in front of a customer who's going to love it? No, I'm not bailing on it because I'm making 45% profit. I have money in my pocket off these 20 pieces, And I stood the test of time. I stayed with it and was committed. And now I have the ability to learn from what my customers want. And now I can just buy one of these instead of 20. And I can buy 20 of these instead of 2. So that is what I want to share with you today on this Tuesday Tea with me. In any business you go into, you have to do the research. The business practices of success are steady, and it is laid out for you. There are people who have come into the business with the same amount of funds that you had and have built it to 6-figure and 7-figure businesses. But they stayed steady, committed, and they had the character to do so. All right? There are some people who realize, you know what, I need this business to go over for a couple more years, and I'm willing to lose out on what this person will have in 2 years because I need to wait and see how it grows in 2 years, knowing that when I come in, yes, I will be able to have success, but it's going to look different than the person who had enough courage to start 2 years ago before the whole picture was laid out. So you decide what you're willing to sacrifice and what you're willing to put in now in any business you go into, and how much work you want to put in throughout to get what you want. That is literally how I became a 6-figure earner with my business. Because I took a leap. I had faith in the product. That $5 jewelry, no matter how you slice it, cut it, or put it, if I put it in front of women, it will be purchased. Now, were there some things about the business that I joined at the ground floor that looks a little different now, that has made my process a lot easier now? Yes, but there's parts about it that isn't as easy now that I have to work harder for because there is brand recognition. So you have to decide in business, where do you want to start? Ground floor or something that is established, and weigh your pros and cons. But the most important thing, is it a product that you believe in or a service that you believe in? And are you willing to put out in the work to reach your target market so that they also see the benefit in that product or that service to their life? All right, so this is part 2 of started from the bottom. Now I'm here at 6 figures, and it was well worth it. All right, so last week I talked about, before Googling to ways to make an extra $1,000 a month, what are some characteristics or what are some things abilities I already had? Go and check that out. This week, we were talking about ground floor. Is that really what you want? Some of you say you want ground floor, but are you really built for what comes with the steadiness and commitment and character to have a business that grows from a ground floor opportunity? And then next week, we're going to talk about abroad and back. So this 4-part series is indeed about me and how I became a 6-figure earner in this business and was able to retire from my career job as an assistant principal that I went and got a bachelor's, a master's, and lots of certifications to be successful in. And I just said, you can have this because I have a business that I believe in that has grown to outdo financially what my career job has done. So next week, we're going to talk about, how did I live abroad and come back? And what did that do for my business? Catch you guys back here for next Tuesday, Tuesday Tea with me. Also, go over and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's see if I can post that here. To my YouTube channel so you can catch the other. Is it here? Yes, there it is. The other Tuesday teas that I have done. So I did the preparing for a new year, new you, now what? So we are almost at the end of Q1. Can you believe it? OMG. Q1 is almost over. So that is a great one to go back and review. New year, new you, now what? Have you run off the track? Have you had these great ideas that you're going to do? And now it's almost the end of Q1 and you haven't reached the mark? Then that is a great series to get you back zoned in to what you need to do headed into Q2. It's never too late unless you don't start. And then today, and 29 minutes, I gotta get off of here. Over on my personal page, I am doing a marathon live. Pray for me. I will be doing the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll take a 1-hour break for lunch. So catch me over there and get your shop on for $5 accessories, or see what I do to become a 6-figure earner in this business. All right. Have a blessed day. Remember, today, hand out 5 compliments. Do it with a smile. The good Lord gave it to you. You might as well share it. See you later.